Hi everyone, welcome to the Essex Sport Facebook page. My name is Arlene. I'm going to run a 30-minute slow flow yoga session today. Before we begin, if you'd like to just make sure you've got plenty of space, that your floor is not slippery, and it'd be nice to have like a yoga mat or a nice surface to work on. You're welcome to have some water nearby, and I won't have music on, but you might like to pop some music on in the background if that's something you'd enjoy. Okay, great. So I encourage you to work at your own pace, your own range, and just do movements that you feel comfortable with. You're welcome to rest at any time. Okay, wonderful. So we're going to start coming to child's pose. So if you just come down to your mat through all fours, and then very slowly just start to ease your bottom downwards towards your heels, and check in. You can place more space between your knees if that feels more comfortable for your back. Bringing your toes towards each other, and just very slowly start to allow your upper body to relax towards the ground. You can bring support for your forehead with your fists or two, or a nice rolled up blanket or towel, or a yoga block. You can rest your forehead on the ground if that's comfortable. We'll just take a few moments to start in child's pose, which is a nice posture to turn inward, and also a nice way to just ease any tension out of the lower back, your hips or your bottom. And make your arms comfortable. So if you feel tension in your shoulders, you might bend your elbows and place your forearms on the ground, or widen the space between your arms. If you like that sense of kind of reaching, make your shoulders comfortable. So vary the amount of space between your hands, but you can start to reach your fingers to the front of the mat. Another variation in your child's pose is to rest your hands on your lower back. You might even start to bend your elbows and interlace your fingers if that's comfortable. And again, be kind to your shoulders, so not bringing tension, but you're welcome to straighten your arms behind you as well. Good, so another round of breath here in your child's pose, wherever your arms are comfortable. And then very slowly start to uncurl your spine. Good, and we'll come to lay on our back for a moment with our knees bent. And as you lay on your back, just check in and notice how your back feels, your shoulders, your feet, and does it feel even, your spine, one side to the other. Then bring both knees to your chest, hold your shins, you can bring your forehead towards your knees, so this feels like child's pose, just the other direction, laying on our back. And option to bring circling to this, you can rotate through your thighs, like you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees, and you can either have your head elevated, your upper body elevated, or relax onto the ground. See what feels nice for you. So just start with a little rock side to side. You can even bring it into happy baby pose if that feels nice, to just a massage, and you make it your own. You can explore by reaching your arms or your legs away from you simultaneously, what feels nice for your body. Okay, great. And when you're ready, take a nice full body stretch, lengthen your legs, arms overhead. Exhale, bring one knee to your chest. You can hold your thigh or your shin. You can maybe bring your forehead up towards your knees. Nice way to relax both your lower back and as well as the front of your hip for the leg that's straight. Good, then release your leg. Inhale, full body stretch, like you're trying to reach overhead with your fingers and your toes lengthened away from you. Other leg, fold your knee, thigh towards your stomach, forehead towards your knees, an option. You can do this with a bent knee on your opposite leg if that feels more comfortable for your lower back. Okay, they'll take another full body stretch, long spine. Exhale, both knees to your chest, hold your shins, and just take a moment and relax through your lower back. Feel your breath, where does it rise and fall? Good, and then either roll to one side or rock up from here. Look back to all fours on our hands and knees. Good, so once you're in position on all fours, we'll come to cat and cow. So just start to soften your stomach towards the mat. You might notice your tailbone tip up, and you can look up with your head. Feel that kind of stretch the front of your body. And as you exhale, your back body has a chance to create space. So you round your lower back, your mid-back, your shoulders. Just gently ease upwards. If you'd like to do this with a breathing pattern, perhaps inhale for cow, soften your stomach to the mat, and exhale for cat. Draw your navel inward. But here, as you relax your hands, you can allow space between your shoulder blades and the back of your neck to release. Good, we'll do 2 more rounds of cat and cow. So just make that your own. Do that at the pace that feels comfortable for you. But really give in to gravity with your hands and your knees. So you can feel your spine start to create release and space through each vertebrae. Good. Second round. Lovely. Then we'll come back to a neutral spine, and from here just walk your hands on the floor to one side, perhaps over to your left, and then bring your bottom to your heels. So it's a little side bended child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the ground or on your fist, and explore if it feels nice to reach your arms a bit further away, and that helps to create a release through the side of your body, your hips, your rib cage, your bottom. Good. And we'll gently come back up. Good. Walk through center, just at your own pace, and then do the other side. So a little side bend from all fours, and then the bottom comes to your heels, and just find the range. You can adjust where your hands are to feel comfortable, support for your head. Do you like reaching your arms further away from you, or resting your forearms on the ground? Good. And just notice where that creates release, perhaps through your lower back, your hips, your rib cage, the side of your neck, your jaw. Good. And then we'll slowly come back up through all fours. Walk your hands through center. Okay, so we're going to kind of uncurl our spine up to a kneeling position. So if you walk your hands to your knees and then draw your navel inward, and just unfold your spine. So you're kneeling, shoulders are kind of over your hips. Okay. From here, once you're in your kneeling position, you're welcome to fold up your mat if you'd like a little extra cushion for your knees to rest on. Lovely. Okay, so we'll bring our arms up. Your palms are facing forward, the same direction as your navel. Inhale here. And as you exhale, lower as if to all fours, just momentarily, so you can come back to child's pose. Bottom to your heels, slide down. And just do that again. So uncurl your spine. So your navel draws inwards, your hands slide towards your knees, chin to chest. Once you're upright in your kneeling position, arms reach up, and you can almost create like an upper back bend by looking up at your fingers. And then slowly bring your bottom to your heels. So you can come straight to child's pose from here. Option to come through all fours first, with your hands down before your bottom comes to your heels. Relax in child's pose. Good. Do that once more. So uncurl your spine. Rise up through all fours. Once you're upright, arms reach up. Little upper back bend. Hips come forward. Lengthen your front body. Then lower your arms down. Bottom to your heels. Slide into your child's pose again. Good. Lovely. Then uncurl. We'll come to all fours on hands and knees. We'll practice a little puppy dog pose next. So keep your hips above your knees. Walk your hands forwards. You're kind of creating length in your upper body as well as your spine. So your lower body, your hips, and your tailbone stay as they are. But just start to ease and reach your arms forward. So just stop wherever this is comfortable. But maximum, you might rest your forehead on the mat. And just see if that's nice to reach your arms a bit further away from your body. Good. So that creates a nice length. And this really replicates that feeling of downward facing dog, that kind of long spine, like your tailbone's reaching away from you. Good. And then we'll walk our hands back, slowly come up through all fours, and practice downward facing dog next. So toes tuck under, bottom comes to your heels. Imagine with lightness that there's a string on your tailbone, and it starts to draw your tailbone up to the ceiling. Good. So just with lightness, your tailbone lifts up, your hips lift up. Stay in your downward facing dog for a few moments. You can have a bend in your knees here to help lengthen your sitting bones, so that wall behind you. That helps create length along your side body. Check in with how your neck feels. You're welcome to start to lower your heels to the ground. Do you like holding that in stillness today? You can start to bring a little flowing movement by bending your knees, turning your head side to side. So just explore this for a few moments. How does that feel for your body? Good. We'll start to explore a flying dog. So lift one leg up. You can bend your knees to your navel, lengthen your leg, and lower down. And do that on the other leg. If that feels intense to do this from downward facing dog, you might do that from all fours. That feels more comfortable today. So one leg extends straight behind your shoulder, lower down, and bring your knee to your navel, in between. Good. Just explore flying dog, downward facing dog, all fours to leg extended behind you. Which option feels nice? Good, so just do that evenly, both legs. Good. And then we'll come to a forward folded position. So you can walk hands to feet or feet to hands. Come to stay in a forward fold that feels nice for you. So just check in with how that feels. You can have your knees bent and rest your forearms on your thighs. You can turn your head side to side. Maybe you have a longer legs and are resting your hands on your thighs or your shins or towards the floor. Just check in. Notice if the weight's more towards your toes or your heels, so it doesn't feel like you're leaning back or leaning forward. And you make little adjustments so it feels just like the weight's even throughout your whole foot, and it's not rolling inwards or rolling outwards. Good. One more breath here. Option to bend your elbows and hold on to the opposite forearm. Good. Little micro bend in your knees, and just very slowly start to uncurl your spine. and we'll come up to standing. Good, once you're upright, you can give your shoulders a little shrug, roll them up forwards and backwards. Good, and then we'll come to stand comfortably in mountain pose, just preparing for a balance. So you're welcome to come off your mat if the mat creates resistance, or to stand near a wall or a strong, sturdy chair. Good, so just stand comfortably in mountain pose. That sense again that the weight's not towards your toes or your heels. And though your feet are even, just imagine that your feet are in wet sand and they're just kind of molding and kind of nestling into the sand, so they're not going to move. But think about drawing your heels towards each other, so that kind of activates your inner thigh, so like your heels are starting to suction inwards. Good, so maintain that if that's comfortable. Navel's engaged. Start to have your hands, your palms facing your thighs, then rotate so your palms are facing forward. If it's comfortable, rotate through your shoulders to turn your palms to the sides and your thumbs are behind you. Good, just notice how that feels in your chest, your shoulders. Where do you feel the breath? Good, then we'll rotate through our arms, relax, and give your legs a release, little shake there. Okay, so now to our balance. So just think about keeping your hips level, shift the weight over to one leg. So perhaps that's your left leg, bend the opposite knee, your right knee, turn it out to the side for me. You just check how that feels, then rotate so your knee comes forward. And just do that twice more. A little rotation from your thigh to bring your knee out to the side, back to center, and once more, out to the side, back to center. Okay, so now to continue the balance, you can either have your hands resting here, fingertips towards the floor, on your hips, or you might start to bring your arms in front of you and overhead. See where you'd like to have your arms. Good. Then you can lift your toes off the floor, stay there, bring your toes down at any time, or if you want to challenge your balance further, imagine there's a string on your knee and it starts to lift your knee upwards, so your knee's about hip height. Again, arms wherever they're comfortable. Stay here if that feels nice. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit further, bend your elbows and have your index finger and thumb touch to make a little circle. So option to stay here. If you want more, from your waist, rotate towards your bent knee. Good, and just stay there for a little balance. See how that feels, a nice rotation. Good. One more breath here. Lovely. And then we'll slowly start to rotate forward. Good. No rush. Just do it at your own pace. You can relax your arms, relax your legs. You're welcome to give everything a little shake. As you come back to mountain pose, just notice, how do your feet feel in relationship to the ground? Does the right side of your body feel differently than your left side? Where do you feel that in your chest, back, shoulders, neck, feet? Good, and we'll prepare for those balance movements on the other side. So weight stays, your hips stay level, weight shifts to the other leg, maybe that's your right leg as your standing leg, other knee bends, rotate from your hip to turn it out to the side, and gently rotate to bring your knee forward. Just do that twice more, knee opens out to the side, back to center, and again. Lovely. So when you do come back to center with your knee, little balance here. Where would you like your arms? Same options, out to the side, overhead. Where would you like your foot to be? You can lift it higher. And do you want to add that little bend of your elbows and your fingertips and thumbs touching? And would you like to rotate from your waist towards your bent knee? So just come into that at your own pace. It's fine to make it kind of explore space and move, be a bit lyrical. This is called a dancer posture, or Nasranjasana. Good. Oh no, this is called Lord Shiva, the dancer's pose. And when you're ready, you can start to rotate back to center at your own pace. No rush. Relax your arms, relax your legs. Give everything a little shake. Okay, so we're going to come back down towards the ground. You can do that through a squat position. So if you turn your toes out to the side, place your hands in front of your heart space. Just imagine here that when you inhale, the breath rises low near your belly and your navel, and it starts to reach up through a pathway to your heart space as you inhale. And when you exhale, the breath relaxes from your heart down to your navel and helps to relax your feet. Good, so just do another round of breath here, inhaling from navel to heart and exhaling from heart to navel. Great. Okay, so we're slow to bend our knees, slowly come down to your squat position. Stop wherever that's comfortable. Maybe have your elbows come inside of your knees. No pressure to do that. If your heels start to lift, you can roll up your mat or place a cushion or towel under there. Good. And from here, we'll just take a little tilt of the head. So your head stays facing forward. Just slowly start to bring one ear towards your shoulder, and just see how the other side of your neck can create a little release. And back to center, and other side. Little tilt. Release through the side of your neck, your jaw. Good. Back to center. Great. So we'll come back to all fours on hands and knees. bring your one foot forward, maybe it's your right leg. Good, and just checking with how that feels. So you can make this a bit deeper by sliding your knee further away from you. Good, we're going to come up into a runner's lunge as an option. So tuck your toes under your back leg. For me, that's your left, my left. Knee lifts off the floor, check in, keeping your hips level. So it doesn't feel like one side of your hip is lifting higher than the other. Good, just stay there for a moment and just feel it start to create a bit of release or ease in the front of your hip space. Good, so option to bring your knee down if that's more comfortable. You can even bring your knee more forward if that feels more comfortable. If you're comfortable here on the ball of your foot, you can stay. And then start to open your right arm out to the side. So whichever leg is in front, if that's your right knee, start to open your right arm out to the side and slowly rotate. See where that's comfortable. Little rotation. You can turn your head to look upwards. Good. And just feel that create a little bit of ease through your lower back, and as well as open your chest space. Good. Then we'll rotate back to center. Good. Swap. Either come through all fours or plank pose. Check in with how that feels. Other leg comes in front. So switching. My left leg comes in front. Option to bring your right knee down. You can bring your right knee more forward if that's more comfortable. Stay there and just stay for a moment. Feel that start to create ease through the front of your hip space. You can push your heel further behind you to kind of make more release or space in the back of your right leg or the leg that's behind. Good. So again, option to bring your knee down. You can adjust at any time. The leg that's in front, for me that's my left. Start to rotate and extend. Same arm as bent knee. Good. So just starting to feel that rotation. Maybe you feel a little release through your lower back, rib cage, openness in your chest space. Good. And then when you're ready, rotate back to center. Good. And we'll push our feet back or push our legs back to downward facing dog. Good. And just explore your down dog again. Little massage for your feet. You can turn your head side to side. Lovely. And then when you're ready, walk hands to feet or feet to hands. Come to that forward folded position, or option to bend your elbows and relax the top of your head towards your forearms. Little bend in your knees, slowly uncurl your spine, come up to standing at your own pace. Good, lovely. Once you're upright, just stand so you're facing the short edge of your mat and your feet are about the width of your hips. Good, so step one leg back, so maybe that's your right leg, and your feet stay parallel like on train tracks. Good, so just check in. If that feels unstable, you can widen the space between your legs side to side. Good, so feet are even, hips facing forward. Inhale, both arms up. And then just really start to relax the back leg. For me, that's my right heel. Relax it into the ground. And then start to lift your heel off the floor. So that can be just a little centimeter, or you can lift higher until you're on the ball of your foot, and then lower down again. Good, so just do that at your own pace, twice more. Heel gently lifts. Explore the range that feels comfortable for you. And it's almost like your fingers are trying to touch the ceiling. Then as you exhale, lower down your heel. Good, so one more round. Heel lifts. And then gently lower your heel down. Good, lovely. From here, relax your arms down. Start to reach your fingers behind you now, and maybe start to gaze upwards. Good, little kind of upper back bend is an option behind your lower back, so you don't have to lean back if that creates any tension, but it's like there's a lift first upwards of your rib cage, and then your breastbone lifts upwards. If you want more, you can interlace your fingers behind you with your elbows bent, or you can rotate through your shoulders and start to lengthen your knuckles away from you. Just see how that feels. Good, one more breath here, just creating ease in your chest, the side of your neck, your jaw. Good, arms stay if they're comfortable, adjust if that's uncomfortable, but just bring your body upright. Start to engage your navel inward, and think about lengthening the top of your head away from you. And then start to hinge forward, so your breastbone is just gently easing forwards towards your straight leg. For me, that's my left leg that's in front. So just stop anywhere in the range that's comfortable. At maximum, you might bring your chest towards your straight leg. Good, but just think about creating ease. Your lower back, the top of your head lengthens away from you. This is our pyramid pose. Good, which you can see with your legs creating a pyramid with the floor. Good, one more breath here. And then imagine that the top of your head is lengthening away from you. And it starts to almost magnetize up towards the ceiling. So you push your feet to hinge back up. Good, we'll bring our arms up overhead. Good, and you might step your back leg further behind you, just coming through a warrior one position. Option to rotate from your thigh to turn your right leg or the back leg out to the side, so your toes are kind of turning out to the side, and you can start to gaze up to challenge your balance. If this is creating any tension in your lower back, you might practice that at a slight diagonal. Good, just gazing up again. Just notice how that feels And you can really start to relax your back legs, heel into the ground, just creating a little release there. Good. One more breath here. Open your arms out to the side, and we'll bring our arms behind you like we did with the pyramid pose. So same options, maybe you bend your elbows or interlace your fingers, or you might lengthen your knuckles away. Keep a long spine and neck. We'll hinge forward, but this time with a bent knee. So just up wherever that's comfortable, coming to a humble warrior. You can start to bring your stomach towards your thighs, an option, or you might even bring your chest on the inner side of your thigh. So just come into it as much as feels comfortable for you, no pressure to come into it deeply. Good. One more breath here, and then push your feet slowly, hinge back up. Bring our arms up overhead. You might use your exhalation to step your feet together, give everything a little shake, and just stand with your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and just do 3 rotations of your hips forward, back to the side. You can place your hands on your hips if that's comfortable, and then go in the other direction. So just notice where that might create ease or release. Okay, so we'll do the other leg. So stand with your legs hip width apart, hips evenly facing forward, left leg steps back, or your other one. Good. So start to feel the heel start to relax. Your feet are like on train tracks, parallel. If it's unstable, widen the space between your legs side to side. We'll bring our arms up overhead. Imagine trying to touch the ceiling with your fingers. Good. Little heel lift now. Your back leg heel lifts off the floor just as much as feels comfortable. At maximum to the ball of your foot, and then very slowly lower your heel down. Check in with your knees as well, that though your legs are straight, there's kind of a little space behind your knees, and almost when you rise up to the ball of your foot, you kind of draw your thigh upwards. Good, so one more, heel lift, and then very slowly start to lower down. Good, then gently open your arms out to the side, start to lengthen your fingers behind you. It's like your breastbone is extending forward. You can come into that more deeply by gazing up, or bending your elbows, interlacing your fingers, and perhaps lengthening your knuckles away from you. But just start to feel that create ease in your chest space, but there's an upward lift of your breastbone, so your rib cage is lifting away from your hips. Good, one more breath here. Lovely. So option to keep arms as they are. Hips are comfortable, upper body just comes upright to the top of your head is towards the ceiling, navel's engaged, hinge forward, bringing your breastbone towards the front, but keep your hips level here. So again, just stop wherever that's comfortable. At maximum, you might bring your chest towards your straight leg that's in front. For me, that's my right leg. Good, so just check in with how that feels. Keep a long neck and spine. Check in with how close you like your chest, your chin towards your chest. Good. One more breath here, and then when you're ready, push your feet. Imagine the top of your head is reaching away from you. Good. When you're upright, start to bend our front knee. You can create more space between your legs, stepping your left leg back, or your back leg back, and you can rotate through your thigh to turn your leg out to the side. Good, so arms come up overhead through that warrior one. Just make that your own. You can do that at a slight angle if that's more comfortable for your back, or reach your fingers upwards like your breastbone's lifting, and it almost becomes like a little upper back bend. So just explore that at your own pace, your own range. Be kind to your body. No tension. Just where can you ease? Good. In the movements. Lovely. Then come back upright. Start to hinge forward. Relax your arms behind you. Same options. Where would your arms like to be? Fingers interlaced, elbows on, elbows bent, and then keep a long spine and neck, hinge forward. Good, so just stop at your own pace. You're welcome to step your legs more forward if that feels more comfortable to hinge your upper body towards your thigh. Good, so long neck and spine here. You can check in, no tension in your jaw, your face, just easing the top of your head away from you. Good, and then slowly push your feet to hinge back upwards. At your own pace. Once you're upright, arms overhead, exhale. Your feet together. Give everything a little shake. Good. Then if you stand with your feet hip width apart, inhale your arms up. Exhale, sit as if to chair. Let your arms swing down. Good, and just do that from a side profile so you can feel that your bottom comes down at an angle. Sort of a diagonal. Good, once more. Lovely. And then we'll open arms out to the side. Good. We'll come back to that squat position we practiced earlier, so you can turn your toes out to the side. Palms touch. Hands in front of your heart space. Imagine breathing that pathway from your navel as you inhale up to your heart, as you exhale from your heart to your navel. Good, one more breath here. And then very slowly start to bend your knees, come down to your squat position. Stop wherever that's comfortable. It's fine if your heels lift. You can place some rolled up towels or blocks under them. Maybe your elbows come inside of your knees. Keep your head forward, but very slowly tilt. So you bring one ear towards your shoulder. Check in with your jaw. You're welcome to open your mouth a little if you feel tension there. Good. Back to center with your head. Head stays face forward again. Just tilting ear to shoulder. Release through the side of your neck. drop it. Good, lovely. And we'll bring our hands down to the floor. Good. And then if you come to sit with your knees bent, feet next to each other, and then butterfly your knees open so the bottoms of your feet touch, and just hold onto your shins or your ankles and lengthen the top of your head up so you can feel your sitting bones relax. Good. Then very slowly start to bend from your hip bones. Here you're folding your hip bones and bringing your breastbone forward. So just stop wherever that's comfortable. You're welcome to walk your hands further forward. And just find a moment of stillness. You're relaxing your sitting bones into the mat. Let your legs feel heavy. If it feels uncomfortable on your hip space, you can place some blocks in here underneath your knees. So just notice where that's comfortable. Really think about lengthening the top of your head upwards. So it's almost like your hips tilt behind you. Good. So one more breath here, and then to come out, reach your arms away from you, hinge from your hips until your arms are up overhead. Good. Then bend your elbows. Stay here and just feel how your chest feels. You might imagine that you're trying to widen the space between your elbows, almost like the backs of your hands are kind of drawing towards each other. Good. Lovely. Then relax your arms down by your side. So you're welcome to keep your feet as they are, or you might transition to more of a cross-legged position. See how that feels. If it's uncomfortable on your hips, you might do a few windshield wipers of your knees side to side. Good, but so keeping your knees out to the side, you can transition, so one foot is in front of the other. Good, bring one arm up overhead, rotate through your shoulders, your palm faces towards your center, and then take a little side bend here. Make that your own, so you can either bend your elbow or slide the hand on the floor away from you. Check in with your neck. Option to kind of rotate your head side to side. Notice how that feels. Good. Lovely. Back up. Other side. You're welcome to reverse the leg that's in front if you do have a cross-legged position. Rotate through your shoulder, palm facing the side. Little side bend here. Just try to keep both sitting bones in contact with the ground. Option to have that little rotation through your head. Just feel where that kind of releases the side of your hip, your rib cage. Good. One more breath here. Lovely. And slowly uncurl. Good. Then we're going to come and lay on our back with our knees bent. Good. So as you lay back, just feel your shoulders are even on the ground. Your arms can relax either side of your hips and your knees bent. Good. So just lift your heels off the floor so you're just on the balls of your feet. And just notice how you feel. And just rest through your lower back, your shoulders, your tailbone. Good. Then lower your heels to the floor. We'll bring one thigh towards our stomach. Hold your shin. Option to bring your forehead towards your knee. Good. And then flex your foot. Relax your upper body down. And then start to lengthen your heel away from you. Just make that your own. Good. So as an option, you can flex your foot if that's comfortable, or you might point your toe if that feels like you'd like to kind of release in the front of your leg. So keep your leg long, and you can support your leg with your thigh, but just imagine you're trying to draw circles on the ceiling with this foot. Good. Just do 3 circles in one direction and 3 circles in the other direction. So that can be a small circle, but you might make it larger if that's comfortable for you. Good. And then we'll bend our knee. Stop in the center. Bend your knee. Foot on the floor. Notice for a moment, how does the right side of your body feel compared to your left? Good. Then we'll do the other side. So thigh towards your stomach. Hold your shin. Forehead towards your knee as an option. Good. Upper body relaxes. Flex your foot. Lengthen your heel away from you. Support your leg wherever that's comfortable. Option to point if that feels nicer, or flex. Just hold one and then do that circling 3 circles in one direction. So you can feel that rotation of your thigh in the hip socket, and then 3 circles in the other direction. Good. Lovely. And just bend both knees. Good. Open your arms out to the side in the T. And just slowly bring both knees over to one side. If that's uncomfortable, you might prefer to windshield wipe your knees side to side. Good, so both knees over to one side. You can do that with your feet elevated before you bring your knees to your side. See where you'd like to turn your head. Options to straighten the upper leg. And you can hold onto those toes with your hand. Both shoulders just relax into the ground. Little release here for the side body. Notice where you'd like to turn your head. And just let go, let gravity take over. Good. And then very slowly come through center, roll onto your back, and then relax your knees over to the other side. Same options. You can straighten your upper leg, maybe hold onto your toes, relax both shoulders evenly into the ground. Option to keep windshield wiping your knees side to side if that feels better for your back today. Just do what feels nice. Good. And perhaps here, if you're holding, you can feel a little release through your lower back, your rib cage, the outside edge of your hip, your shoulders, your chest. Good. Then slowly bring your knees back to center. Good. Take any stretch that feels comfortable, whether that's a full body stretch or a little happy baby pose, whatever feels nice for you. Windshield wipe your knees side to side or kind of roll forwards and backwards. So what feels nice today? And then when you're ready, just come to a comfortable position for a moment to turn inward. And just scan your body. Notice how you feel in your feet, your arms, your legs. Just scan upwards. Notice any changes in the flow of your breath. Notice any changes in release, in space you've created, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your thoughts. And you're welcome to stay here for a few breaths, just connecting with the ground, feeling each part of you relax and enjoy the effects of your practice of yoga. When you do feel ready to come out, just very slowly move to expand into space at your own pace. There's no rush. So I'll leave you here. Perhaps you'll enjoy your relaxation longer. But thank you for coming and practicing, honoring your body with yoga today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Feel free to send messages over to us on Facebook Messenger or Essex Sport. Check out the YouTube page for Essex Sport or the other videos we have here on Facebook.